Hey, how you doing? It's Grampy. I'm back again. I'm here at the Let's Play world, and I know it's been a very, very long time since I've recorded anything, and I've kind of given up. But I wanted to do one final video just to kind of show you what I've done and explain what's been going on as best I can. This is kind of where we stopped at this XP farm where I stopped recording. If you remember, I had some trouble with my house. We had a flood in our house, and I couldn't record for a while the repairs were happening. I just lost my recording mojo, and I never did get back into it. And you know, to be real honest, nobody's watching. There's one or two people that are watching, maybe checking in once in a while to kind of see what's going on the videos, and really appreciate that. And so that's kind of why I'm doing this final video, to just kind of wrap things up and show you what I've done to this world. But I just kept playing on it and stopped recording. So that's what this video is. It's just a final farewell to this play world video, I think. And so let's head out. I've got a couple of farms, actually more than a couple, that I want to show you. One of the things that I've done is add these iron golems out here. They, on this farm, they're positioned so that one block below, they're standing on a block that's one block below the middle platform layer, and they will, I got to be careful or I will get attacked here. There. So I just want to turn it off before we leave. So those golems will attract these magma cubes, actually, and keep them from taking up spawning space in your mob cap. So anyway, that's what those are for. Doesn't make any difference. This thing's so productive anyway, but might as well make it as productive as you can. So anyway, that's that. So so let's head on out to the overworld base, and I want to show you a few things that I built over there. So the first thing, oh, it's raining, of course. Come on. The first thing that I built is this. Not real spectacular, but it is a just a little automated sugarcane farm. You'll see that sugarcane disappear. There's a minecart going under there, and then it brings it over here. You can hear that dropper elevator going. It brings it over here and fills it up. So not much. I can't remember the name of the guy who sort of created this design, but there are quite a few of them like this that use observers to, when the cane grows up to its third level, the observer will observe that and then fire off these pistons. It breaks them down to 2, and then or breaks it down to 1 level, and then anyway, puts it in here. I did that because with our gunpowder farm, I just needed sugarcane to build to make a lot of rockets. Which actually, I'm a little low on the rockets. I better stop in and get some. Oh, I also had some cats. I found some ocelots and tamed cats. I put a lot of cats in here with our parrots. So here's some Duration 1 rockets. Let's just load up. The other, I guess one other little minor thing, I did a little landscaping around the storage house. Thought it looked pretty cool. I made an enormous oak tree over there. Did the same thing. The next farm, though, that I want to show you is the slime farm. There's nothing real exciting about these. I do like my slime. Except this one is Il Mango's design. I'll, again, put a link. That this farm is absolutely incredible, the way Il Mango tweaked it to make it as productive as it can be. I'll let you watch his farm to see the things that make it more productive. One is open sky access. So I've got all transparent blocks here except for this one row on my slime. I was willing to give up a little productivity to get a good looking slime on here. They come up this elevator into this water stream that just circle around and around, and that's to just in case my storage system gets full, which will happen pretty fast. It's actually, I've got a lot of, so the slime balls are being just dumped into these chests, and you can see there's a lot of them here. Where you know, we got a lot of room to go, but I've been cleaning them out, and I've been crafting slime blocks, and I've got a lot of slime blocks. This torch actually marks the row that we're on, so I've got all the slime that I will ever use forever again in my life. So there's the slime farm, and I'll put El Mango's video, and you can see the things that make this more efficient than the farms that I previously had built. The next thing I want to show you is my cow farm, which is, oh, I needed to delete that. So you can see I put beacons up through the towers of my desert temple, and I put jump and speed on them, and I need to get rid of those. But anyway, here's my cow farm, and it is a it's Tango Tech's design, actually, his new AFK-able cow farm, and it's got just a double stack wheat farm on top that's supplying it with wheat, so you can AFK indefinitely if you want to, until you fill up all your storage anyway. But these two farms, this is the design, originally came from Unary Bit, but it uses just a very simple mechanic, which is the villagers that harvest have to have their inventories completely full of seeds, and seeds only. And that way they will just continue to harvest, but they can't pick up the wheat. And so the wheat just lays on the ground like that until one of these mine carts picks it up. Now I've got a little problem with, I've got a couple of rows where I can't put carts because, well, I couldn't figure out how to make them work appropriately underneath the water. Where the hydration points are, so I'm going to lose some, but you'll be able to see. Who cares? I've got wheat out the wazoo here, so they're dropping it down into this hopper chain, and it comes up here. This farm is kind of cool. It's Tango Tech's design. I'll let you do it, but that wheat comes down into here, fills up this chest. You jump down in here, and this thing automatically starts dispensing it to you, and you use the little F11 trick to feed, you know, you can just AFK here and continue to feed these cows. They'll go in and out of their breeding cycles, and their babies get, when this chest gets full, I've got a little switch that I hit there, and it locks that hopper, and they start going down into additional storage. Anyway, down here, so the babies, when they're made, like that one, now there's not enough. I've killed a bunch of these cows because I've got all the steak I'll ever need, and they were creating a little bit of lag. But when this is full, the babies get jammed into that hole right there, and they fall down into this group. When it's so empty, they're not falling in there. But anyway, when it's full, they do, and they grow up under that lava. A few of the adults will be able to figure out how to survive and stay out of there, but generally when there's any down in there, that forces them in, and then it fills up all your chests with steak. So I've got all the steak I could ever need forever. So, and then my additional storage is down there for wheat. It's almost full, by the way. So anyway, that's kind of the stuff I've been doing here at the base. Trying to go quick because I got a lot more to show you. The next thing I want to show you is the witch farm. So let's, I've got another portal over to it, and that's the quickest way to get there. So let's use that. This is a design by El Mango that I really like. And, oh no, I want to go through the portal. So we'll take a look at that real quickly, but it's, you know, it's just a, I think it's down here. There's nothing real amazing about a witch farm, but I did want to show you that I built El Mango's design, which is really cool. It uses a shifting floor that goes up and down. Oh, down over here I built a wither kill zone where you can kill them real easy. It's pandas, you know, discovery is what I'm using there, so so I don't have to fight them for real. I don't like fighting them. I fought a lot of them, but I just prefer to kill them now. Anyway, here's the witch farm right here. So we'll go down and take a quick look at this. Now, Tango Tech, if you watch Tango on his Hermitcraft series, he built his base at a quad witch hut area. Anyway, I'm getting all the normal witch stuff, you know, redstone and glowstone, and I got a lot of glowstone now. But this is good stuff for brewing. Actually, all this stuff is good for brewing. So it's kind of nice to build if you're going to build a big automated brewing machine, you build it close to your witch hut. You know, here's the item elevator that stuff comes up. The farm is off right now because that's the problem with this design, is it uses observers and creates like 1-tick pulses to do its job. And if you leave, they get all whacked out. And now I'm going to get attacked by these. I'm sure there's a lot of witches here because I lit up a lot of caves under here. They're going to start bombing me. But you can see those slime blocks are down on the right level. So it's kind of a pain. They get up, they get stuck in the up position if a 1-tick pulse gets stuck in there. But let's turn this on to get rid of these guys. So you can see the floors shift up in sequence, and because there's a block above the witch's head, they just jams them down through the floor and they glitch through the floor. So let's go down actually and we'll watch it in action. I've got enough of the caves lit up to where it works pretty well when I'm down here in the observation area. You know, I've just lit up a ton of caves. We can come down at the drop area. So you can see, let's wait one more time. So it's set up on a timer every 20 seconds. So it fills up, and Il Mango's done the math or whatever and figured out that's the best possible timing for, you know, things not despawning and yet not filling up the mob cap and yet getting you the best rates. So that's what he's done. So here they come again. So they hit these. There's hoppers obviously under here, and they're going down the hopper chain into that elevator. So anyway, there's the witch farm. Wanted to show that to you. Anyway, I started to say Tango changed that design to, oh, I need to turn off the, darn it. I need to turn off the machine before we leave. Tango changed the design to get rid of those observers and just put it on a more traditional, you know, clock to make the floors shift. Uh-oh, did that get stuck? No, they're fine. Anyway, you can watch Tango's video where he modified this if you just want to use a more traditional design and not have to worry about the 1-tick pulse problem. But anyway, let's head back. And now what I want to show you is basically the thing that ruined my world for me because it caused me to cheat. I'll explain a little more later, but that's basically why I don't want to play here anymore, because I've ruined it, and I went into creative mode and cheated. So I'm kind of done with it now, but I may fire back up and use this world to build some, just as a survival building world. But let's go back to the, hello. We'll go to the overworld base again. So I hope this isn't taking too long. Anyway, I kept threatening to build Tango's new iron farm, and so I did, and it's out here. So I came out here and I built this thing. I did this whole thing in survival. I didn't cheat on this. And this is just an amazing farm. I won't go into how it works because, first of all, I don't understand it. I understand it a lot better now than I did before I built this, because Tango's tutorial does a great job of explaining these mechanics and how these things work. And so I'd highly recommend it. But this is a Tango's new design. He calls it the Iron Phoenix. And it's a resettable farm. So you have to AFK here to get your iron. And when you leave and these chunks unload, the villages, all of the villages, there's 64 villages here, all of the villages merge and go away or whatever, and it stops working. So you have to, what you do, oh gosh, is reset it. And you reset it with this button right here. You just push that button, and then it starts rebuilding itself one village at a time until all 64 are rebuilt. And it's amazing how it does it. Just watch Tango's video. I won't even try to. But there's a villager that goes around this loop, and he starts creating villages. And as he comes down, they get pulled into position. Then he's got these villagers here that are on, that are in boats that get launched into the right positions to create the upper row of villages. And then they drop down to where this guy is right now, and they create the bottom 32 villages. And it just pulls them all into the exact position they need to be in order to create the golem spawning areas right centered around this spawning platform. So it's just amazing. Amazing farm, very, very productive. Create, I can't, 2,600 ingots per hour, something like that. The only problem with this one is it doesn't work. And I've got to tell you guys, I spent, I don't know how many hours. I would be embarrassed if I kept track and told you how long I spent trying to debug this farm, and I never did get it debugged. Let's go up here if we can. I don't have my jump boost here. Anyway, I checked and double checked and triple checked and quadruple checked all of the critical measurements, you know, exactly where these villagers have to be and how far they are from the doors that they're trying, the villages that they're trying to create. I checked the, you know, so all of these critical distances, all the critical timings, you know, there are clocks that are set up with the right number of items in them, and everything works perfectly. This, you know, automated mechanism here that opens sky access one village at a time works absolutely perfectly. There's nothing wrong with that. But it is this, and every single measurement that I can check is exactly right as far as I can tell, but the farm does not work. So I freaked out and got mad. At first, there's a village over there, and I thought, I know this village is far enough away that it wasn't affecting the farm, but I got paranoid anyway, so I came running over here and broke all of the doors and slaughtered all the villagers. And so there's no village here to be, you know, disrupting things. So then I thought, well, okay, maybe it's my villager breeder. So I went back over here and dismantled the entire breeder and took a few seed villagers clear away over there and stored them underground. And anyway, I could never get it to work. So here's what I did, and this is what ruined my game for me. I went to Tango's download world, and I downloaded it, and I went into it with World Edit and created a schematic of his farm. And then I brought it over here and pasted it into my world with creative mode. And I was thinking, maybe there's something about this single player settings that I have that are preventing it from working. And so I pasted Tango's World in here, and guess what? It works perfectly. So here it is. Now this is Tango's World, and I pasted it in here with a World Edit schematic, and then I changed all the blocks to be purr because but anyway, this one works, and it works like a champ. So I've obviously got something wrong with mine, but I'll be darned if I can find it. And I'm done now because I cheated. But anyway, since I was cheating, I went ahead and did this. I used World Edit. I wanted to kind of see if I could use World Edit like the creative players do to create this biome. So this is all a custom end island biome that I created using World Edit, complete with the chorus plants and all that. I thought it came out pretty darn good. It may be a little too, you may be able to see World Edit patterns in here too much, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. And then I built this custom in-city building. Let's get up in the air so we can see it better. So there's my in-city building. It retains the the feeling of an in-city building, only it's monstrous because I'm using it to house my my iron processing plant. So I got dragon heads. So inside, this is basically just the iron. There's some speed crafting pods, 6 of them, for crafting iron blocks. So when these fill all the way up with iron ingots, that light turns on, and you can come in here and replace the glass. I've got the glass off so I can check chests, but replace that glass obviously, and then fill your entire inventory up with iron blocks except for your hot row, and then break these chests with an axe until all the iron ingots fall around you, and then use this to speed craft iron blocks. And you can do it real fast with this new mechanic here. Anyway, that's what this is. And then I've got a little, here's the rest of the building outside of my processor. Now here, so when you're done crafting iron blocks, you might have saw there's a trap door there. You open up that trap door and just chuck your blocks in. They go up the same item elevator, and they get filtered out into these chests right here. So I've got 2 big banks of chests like that on the ends that iron blocks will go into. And so that's my iron farm. And all built in creative mode. So not worth anything, except I kind of like it. I like how it came out. But the last thing I want to show you. So anyway, now my world is ruined. So then I didn't realize that it would kill my motivation, so I went ahead and kept playing for a while and built one last thing I want to show you. I know this is getting a little long now, but we'll go fast. I built, since I destroyed my villager breeder, I went ahead and built a good one. Brought my seed villagers back over here and built Unary Bits design for a breeder. Here it is. I never did, I don't think I showed you this, but there's not much. This is Il Mango's pumpkin and melon, automated pumpkin and melon farm. And it's completely full now, so that's why all that stuff is just sitting there and not being picked up. But I've got melons and pumpkins coming out my ears, so I'll have to clean all that out. So here's the here's Unary Bits breeder. Get up here and see it. You can see them sharing their food. I've thrown carrots and potatoes to them until my ears were bleeding or whatever, and they're sharing their food. And there's the Papa Villager up there that's activating them, and they'll start breeding. And the babies, when they are created just drop right down through the bottom, whereas the adults can't. And the great thing about this farm is all of the food it's impossible for the babies to get their hands on any of that food. So the baby villagers are completely empty. Their inventories are empty, which is exactly what you want for when you're creating villagers for farming. So anyway, there's my breeder. So they go down, and the babies come down here. I guess we don't have any right now. I probably need to give them some more food, maybe. Anyway, when the babies are spawned, they go down in this hole, and then when they become adults, they grow up into that water stream, and I drop them down this hole right here. Now let's go see what that hole leads to. That's what I really want to show you. Who cares about a villager breeder? It's what you do with them that matters. So down we go. I'm going down all the way to my mine. So here's my mining area, if you remember. And up here is my villager trading hall. So I built this exactly the same way, including the blocks and decorations that were used. Sorry, I was interrupted there. But anyway, I built this thing just like DocM. This is DocM. This is the villager breeder that they built on the SciCraft server. And DocM did a tutorial, which is just an amazing, it's an amazing machine. And it's just feature packed. Let me show you a few features. The first thing, all of those, let me go out here and show you. But there's the tube that these guys fall down from my breeder. They come down this tube and they fill up this holding cell. And when there's enough of them in here, they push each other over into the, wow, something wrong there. But anyway, they push each other into that corner and they can be picked up with a minecart. Now, then you come down here. The first thing you do is come down here to the villager judgment hall. Doc called it the villager Tinder because there's apparently a dating application called Tinder or something where you swipe left or swipe right if you like or don't like. Anyway, so that's what you do here. The green means you like it, the red means you don't. So if I don't like this this villager, I would swipe to the right and he would go in the hole and die a fiery death. If I do like him, I would go swipe left and then that villager would come and be positioned right here. And this is just the coolest way that this happens. There's a glitch where minecarts will come through soul sand. And that's the mechanic that's used. I'll let you watch Doc's video to see how all that works. It's just amazing, the mechanics. But here's the general idea is if you like this guy, we won't bother to see if we like him or not, but he's a librarian, so there's a chance we'll like him. And let's say that we've checked him out and we really like him. He's got some good trades. So what we would do is, what I would do is break this button here so I don't accidentally eject him. And then the other cool feature is that this has a block swapper here. So I can mark him as a good villager by pushing that button and then change that block from red to green so that I can just quickly glance and see which ones of these guys are keepers and which ones aren't. And then I would put whatever trade he has up here in a frame. So that's that's really cool, isn't it? So let's just let's say that we put another one in here, and for whatever reason we don't like him. Oh gosh, he's a toolsmith, and we don't like toolsmiths. So you just hit that button, and that poor guy comes down this path and up. Oh, they can, when they turn around and face the other way, you know, their minecart mechanics are weird. Eventually, though, what's going to happen is that. He gets ejected, and the minecart gets recycled, and he dies a fiery death. Poor little guy. So anyway, that's how this works. You can evaluate your villagers. You can put them in cells. You can trade with them until you determine whether you like them or not. If you like them, you mark them, and if you don't, you eject them. The ones that you reject right there get thrown into a fire pit also. But here's the last cool feature I just want to show you. Here's where you'd put your farmer villagers. And you can trade with farmer villagers with potatoes and carrots and get all the emeralds that you could ever hope to get. I don't have any in there, but I traded enough to get this much without a lot of trouble. So I've got shulker boxes here that yellow for potatoes, orange for carrots, and this green for melons and pumpkins. Now, mostly what you're going to do is trade potatoes and carrots to get your emeralds, but when they lock up, you can trade a pumpkin or a melon and it'll unlock them. So you can just keep trading infinitely. And the cool thing about this is I've got chests here where you can load shulker boxes full of your stuff and then chuck them in these chests, and they go down into the mechanism. And then when you're trading and you've used the last, when you use the last item out of a shulker box, watch carefully, that it automatically breaks the shulker box and immediately replaces it with a full one that's loaded from the system. So isn't that cool? So now I've got a brand new fresh one, and the empty is transported over here and up into this chest where the empties go. So I'm just going to save these real quick so I don't lose them, because I don't have automated carrot farm or potato farm yet. It took me a long time to get that much. So anyway, there you go, guys, and you get this automated shulker replacement system going. I've got tons of shulker boxes from my forays into the end cities, all I could ever want. Stacks and stacks, actually. So that's how you get your emeralds. And then, you know, this is just, I've spent hours down here evaluating villagers, and I've got all I could ever want now, which is a shame because, like I said, I'm probably done here. I've got, probably not going to play anymore on this world anyway. I've got a mending villager here that only wants 10 emeralds for a mending book. That's the best trade for mending books. Anyway, guys, this is it. That's what I wanted to show you. Appreciate you watching. If I start recording again, I'll post some more videos. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching if you watched, and we'll see you next time.